my information that I have. If you turn your card over, my business card over, you'll have the web address to this. So all my science is in green, all my math is in blue. However, my math is not just math expressions. You think of it as like a general math for Common Core. That's when I started it. So I have another complete place I go and put all of my math expression stuff. So that's just general. That's my little family there. I have 2 kids in college. Yay! I just sent the last one to school last week, so he starts today. I'm all excited for him. So you need my cell number on there, so if you grab a pen. I know you are the math leaders and you have to go back and work with other teachers, so when you have a question, do not hesitate to call me. All I say is do not call me after 10 p.m. I don't care what day you want. You can call me Saturdays, Sundays, whenever you're working, because we don't work normal schedules anyhow, right?
Right.
So it's 810 358 8848. And I'm on my phone constant. My husband calls this my hobby. So I just always have my phone going and everything. So don't even worry about calling at any weird time if you have any questions. My goal for you was to anything that I give you, you will have electronically as soon as that file is shared with you, so that you can share this information back and you have it electronically. The only thing I ask is you do not post anything online. Okay, just share it amongst yourselves and use it within your district. So what I need you to do right now is I'm going to be asking you who you are, what grade you teach, and what you want out of today's session to make sure I hit everybody's needs. So if you just take a little bit of think time, what do you want to get out of today's session? And can we start here with you and just tell me your name and what grade you teach?
Sue Benjamin, and I teach 5th grade. So what do I want to go on the session? I'd like to actually see what a day would look like, a lesson would look like from beginning to end. And I guess there's some questions with us that you probably already heard about the online component and how we're going to work around that.
Yeah. One, I won't be able to take you from beginning to end and show you what a complete lesson looks like modeling it type thing. We're going to walk through some steps.
Okay.
I really didn't get to walking through a whole lesson with the other group because I was working on the routines that they needed to know. So I want to work on routines. We'll get to that, and if I don't, holler at me, okay? As far as technology, my goal is to show you how I use this teacher manual in that lesson, but I'm not going to be worried about all the working on an iPad and putting all the kids' end of it right now, because my goal is to get you up and running and feeling comfortable with that at the beginning. But whatever you want, you just make sure, how do I use this? How do I use it? And you just keep on me, okay?
Sten Barrow.
Stan?
Sten.
Stan.
S-E. Yeah. S-E-E-N.
Okay.
Or just Ben is fine. Yeah, I teach 4th grade, and I just want to see what the day-to-day kind of routine would be.
Okay. 4th grade, any other 4th grade teachers?
Nope.
Okay, you have the easiest start.
Yay.
Okay. 5th grade, it's a bear starting. You're starting with fractions.
Oh,
Okay.
we're 4th grade.
3rd grade, you have a hard start. It's all multiplication, division, basic facts. Okay. And that's where I want to spend a lot of my time on too, on these basic facts. And because 4th and 5th grade teachers, you're going to want to do a basic fact routine also, so that you can get your kids up and running. Because without those basic facts, your math program is going to take forever getting through anything until you build those basic facts in. Okay. So what do you want to get up? I'm sorry.
Just getting more in depth with what the day-to-day routine would look like, the things that are available and such.
Okay. Good.
Chelsea, 3rd grade special ed. I'd like to understand a little bit better how the RTI book correlates with the lessons, because I went through the tier 1 and it looked like it aligned with the Common Core standards were written, but in the tier 2 and 3 it didn't have it in there, so I didn't understand.
Right,
how
you would, because math expressions did not make those. Houghton Mifflin made those, and other math or the other series uses those also. So that's a Houghton Mifflin. Those Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 books are Houghton Mifflin products. They will not match Math Expressions Language or lesson to lesson. So you have to look at the Math Expressions lesson, and it'll give you the Common Core code. Then you go look for the Common Core code in your Tier 1 intervention book. And in your Tier 2 and Tier 3, it's more by skills.
Okay.
What skills? So yeah, that's why it was not making any sense whatsoever. Feel better?
No, because then the language isn't the same. So then I'm a
Yeah.
little worried about that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But that's why it's not the same.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Brenda Mancy, 5th grade. And I guess what I would like to know is really what to focus on. There's a lot of material in this series, and I know like anything, there are things that are more important that we put our attention to, and things that we don't. So
Yeah, this book I've been using for 6 years. I started with the old series, and then when they changed it over to Common Core, I've been doing that, or working in that one. I have 7 districts. 5 of the districts are Math Expressions, and I'm the one that implemented all of those in their districts. So I know this pretty well, but every time I read it, I learn something new. I mean, there's just, you know how much reading's in there.
Right.
You opened it up and you go, oh my gosh, it's going to take me forever.
Right.
And I just keep reading and keep reading and keep reading, and the more I read and do and make those connections. So don't think you're going to read this and be comfortable this year.
Right.
If you're comfortable this year teaching math, there's something wrong. Okay, because this is really a new approach for you, new approach for the kids, and I mean, this is like you're starting from scratch here.
Right.
And you have the toughest job because they haven't had this before. You're just jumping into it. So you've got kids with no experience with
Right.
this. So it is going to take you a little bit longer to get through some lessons, probably just this first year until you get a handle on it. But yeah, this book series, or this series is my favorite because this is the only one that will teach you how to teach math. If you're not a real strong math person, or even if you are, I've had some of my top math teachers tell me, oh my gosh, this is so much better. I wish somebody would have told me this, earlier in my career. This is such a better way of teaching. But it really teaches you how to teach math, but you're going to have to read.
Right.
And take that time to really do your homework on it. But yes, there are certain places that are must-reads before you start working, and we'll cover that first as soon as I get done, I'm sure.
Karen Hunt, 5th grade with Susan Brenda, and I would just like to reiterate their 2 points. Work community, trying to do this as a team, and be consistent, and teach with fidelity.
We're going to talk about that fidelity word.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else?
Not.
It is.
Brad Mulker, 3rd grade, and it's the same, sitting in the routine. Well, not only like one day worth, but a whole unit of all the next quiz we're going to be doing.
There's quick quizzes around big ideas. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Christine James has which 3rd grade. Each 3 sections.
Yay!
So I did this in 2
Which is going to be difficult. So you're going to have to see what you can arrange for the practices. Okay. We know Meg. She's been introduced, and I'm sure all of you know Meg. So. Okay. Well, let's get started. I like to start with that fidelity piece. I'm going to give you this. It's on your file that's going to be emailed to you. But please, when you give it to anybody else, take off the top part here, the title, because it says walkthrough evaluation look-fors. And if you give anybody this first year, it says walkthroughs and evaluation, they're going to freak out. Okay, so get it off there. Even when I give it to you, like scratch it off and say, because this is just to show you the critical components that you need in order to be considered having fidelity to the program.
Yeah.
So fidelity, we laugh at fidelity all the time where I work because everybody has a different definition of what fidelity is and how to go about it. And my definition of fidelity for Math Expressions is not every page, every problem. You know, it's not if I can get through the whole book, it's my critical components. So if you see the critical components off to the side here, and then what it is, what it looks like, and what it doesn't look like, what you shouldn't see in the classroom. I think this is a really nice place to start with teachers and say what they are. So let's just kind of go down it and let's look at a math lesson. I know you've had math expressions person come in and go through the book with you. So if there's anything I tell you and that they've already told you, just say, Laura, she already told us that, let's go on. Because we don't have a lot of time and I don't want to waste your time. So were you told the color coding of your book?
Yeah, the orange pages of the teachers and like that.
Yeah, so your orange pages, your blue pages are lessons, your green pages are anything with differentiation,
Yeah.
your purple pages, yes, are your homework and stuff like that. Do you have your assessment book with you? Grab your assessment book. I did not do this, Dan, with the K1 because I knew I had to have a lot of time with this, but this is probably a note that you want to get out to them, is they need to look at their assessment first before they do anything else. Number one, let's look at the assessment. And you haven't told them what assessment they're using, but I did.
All right.
Okay? I've just met Dan. We've talked about twice over the phone.
It's okay, he's pretty well read that.
So what I have my districts do, it's always Form A. Form A because that's where the kids have to show their work. Form B is just multiple choice, and our new state testing is not multiple choice any longer, so there's no reason to give that. We can use Form B as sample questions to review tests for review. That's how I would use Form B, just to get extra questions to practice. But you should be using Form A for a test. And so I told the K2 teachers that I'm just making that decision without you.
We're going to go with it. All right.
I knew I was pretty safe on that one. So let's look at Form A, your Unit 1, not the beginning of the year test, because we had questions on that too, and I said it was going to be up to your district on whether you use the beginning of the year test. That test focuses on what they learned last year. It's not showing, what they don't know for this year.
But if we decide to use it and then use the end of the year, it'll still show growth, correct?
Well, see, that's the thing, is that if you're, what grade are you?
5.
5. It will ask the kids on that beginning of the year, it's all 4th grade questions, all 4th grade standards. So really that's meant to show what kids are missing out of that 4th grade so you can set them up in an RTI or an MTSS setting. It's not meant to show growth, because that would be, you want then a 5th grade test, what they're going to be learning all 5th grade year. And that's not what that test does.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now there's a Common Core test on your resources that electronically that does that. So you can use that one if you want to see what they don't know out of the 5th grade material.
This will show holes that they have.
That
in
will
fourth
show
grade.
holes what they have for 4th grade. So like my districts, and anybody I've talked to using math expressions hasn't figured out what to use yet to show growth, because most people are using a, what are you using to show what kids?
NWEA.
You're using NWEA. I have NWEA, I have STAR. They're already testing kids to find out where they need to be placed and what kind of remediation needs to happen or what kind of extensions need to happen. So it's up to you, and I don't have a good answer because we haven't been able to find one yet.
Okay, I get
Okay.
you.
Yeah, Form A. So you passed through your quizzes and got into Form A. What I would like to do is I want you just to always, if you have an order of how to start working on a unit, first thing to do, read over Form A. So if you have sticky notes or need a sticky note or need a highlighter, here they are. But first thing you do, and this is the one thing teachers forget to do because we're in such a rush all the time and we're so, just like we need to get this done and need to get this done. They just start at lesson 1. They open it up. They don't read anything. They start at lesson 1 and work blind all the way through the unit. And they get to the end and they see an assessment and they go, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was going to be on there. Or we didn't spend a lot of time on that. So it pays like dividends by going through the assessment first. So take a look at your assessment. I'm just going to give you a couple minutes to do that. Okay, now what I do is to prepare for a presentation or going into a classroom, I actually do these. I've done every Form A test, kindergarten through 5th grade, so I know what's on there. And that way I'm better able to say, okay, now focus on this, 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 and this when I'm in with a group. So you actually want to do them. I physically go through, you will see a lot of like, oh my gosh, what do they want here? And kids will get mixed up here if I don't explain it this way. And so you'll find a lot of things there. Then I have them go through the quick quizzes. So go at the beginning of that unit, you saw some quick quizzes. Quick quiz 1, quick quiz 2, sometimes there's 3 quick quizzes. I read through those and do those as well. If you can look at all your assessments ahead of time, you're going to be way ahead of the game. Then the next thing I look at is the getting ready to teach section. Have you been told about the getting ready to teach section?
Where the research comes in.
It's right after the, you have the research, and then you have the 8 mathematical practices, getting ready, and then you have the getting ready to teach the section.
Yeah.
It starts with the penguin.
Right.
Puzzled penguin, everybody loves puzzled penguin to see what he gets wrong. Okay, this is a must read. If you're not reading this ahead of time, you're going in blind, and you're going to have a hard time. On the, did you get that to everybody? Okay. On the file that you now have, can you all get to that? I just want to make sure everybody has it. Okay, keep going until you find the
Shared
penguin.
drive, you said, go to shared drive, you should say today, it's a whole bunch of resources. Oh, yeah, oh, I got it, there it is.
Got 'em?
Right there. Should be a folder. Tiger 3.5.
I know, I think
Oh, here it
it's
is.
in now.
Do you see the getting ready to teach section? The folder, getting ready to teach folder, click on that if you're on there. And again, I did not tell the K2 teachers this either. I didn't have enough time. That daily routine takes up so much